My name is Osawaye. I'm a worship leader, a software engineer, a lover of soccer, aspiring music artist, and most importantly, a son of the Most High God. I can boldly say that I want to live my life to point others to Christ, to point others to the source. In light of what Christ has done for me, it's my duty to do that for others. I like to say that Christ is the muse through which I want to do everything in my life. Though there are bumps along the way, I believe that that's the trajectory of my life. And I think that there are two words I would use to describe myself. It would be authenticity and intentionality. These are the two pillars I think I stand by on most days. And I think by the end of my life, I would want to be described as someone that truly loved God and truly loved people authentically. I grew up in a Christian home, as a lot of Nigerian people do. But I think for me, 2016 fall was really the turning point in my walk. I've always been in a Christian home. I've always grown up knowing the person, Christ, and what the cross was and all that, but I don't think it really resonated with me personally. So I think the fall of 2016 was a very pivotal moment in my life. I was in my last co-op term, ready to finish up co-op and graduate the next year from Waterloo. I was in a stage in my life where I knew I needed more of Christ and I wanted more of Christ. I was tired of doing the typical devotional, just checklist, doing that every day. I knew there was a hunger. I was just desiring more of God, essentially. So I decided to start going to another church. And I remember, I think 2 weeks in, I went to this conference called Code Orange Revival. It was a 10-day conference. I was new to the church and I was like, I'm just gonna check out the first night. It sounds cool. But I actually ended up staying for all 10 nights. And all I can say is that I was one way when I started and a different way. I knew that after that conference, I was not going to stay the same. I knew that there were things that I had to break off of. There were things that I had to change in my life. It was very clear. I experienced God in such a powerful way. I was convicted in many ways. The word was just like piercing my heart. So I knew that things were going to change from then on. And I think from that point on, I was slowly, one step at a time, starting to actually enjoy being with God. So music allows us to express truths that you cannot necessarily do with other mediums in the same way. I think it engages all your different senses and it enables you to really hone in on the truths of what you're saying. So worship for me is like a powerful expression of these truths. And I feel like when I sing, it's just an extension of my time off the stage. You know, if my time off the stage is not authentic, my worship is not meaningful. And I think the second one, I sometimes joke with some of my brothers, is that worship is eternal. I tell them that when I'm in heaven, I'm still gonna be a worship leader. Y'all are gonna be listening to me worship in heaven. It's an ongoing thing. So I think I love worship also because it's an eternal ministry. It never stops. God is always going to be glorious and worthy of praise. So it's a privilege for me to start my ministry on earth, but I know it's going to continue in heaven. So I think for me, that's what worship means to me.